We're back with another Beth and Viv video.
Basically. Some might say this might be a little bit of an Arsenal video because we're going to talk a little bit about the last few games, but it's a Viv video.
True.
So how's it going, everyone? We wanted to make a video today about Beth and Viv and the last few Arsenal games and kind of what we think the new feeling of what is going on with Arsenal, Beth and Viv as Posh and Becks, basically.
Power couple.
Exactly. And, there was a game today that we're going to talk a little bit about, but this really just pushed me over the top to wanting to make this video because it's not abnormal. Beth and Viv have been scoring goals for Arsenal for 5 years, so that's not any different. But the storyline is now different. So what we're going to do, we're going to talk a little bit about the last couple games. Not in depth, we're just going to kind of go over the Beth and Viv aspects of them. And also we're going to talk about a couple moments that have happened recently with Beth and Viv. This is basically the weekly Beth and Viv update.
Oh, yeah.
So in the last couple weeks, Arsenal have played 3 games. They have played on the 16th, the 20th, and today, which is the 24th. And every one of those games had such a different feel to them. Arsenal played Brighton on September 16th. And to be honest, I didn't really watch the game, but the start of the continuing of a beautiful partnership on the field is overlapping now with Viv and Beth's personal relationship in a good way. Beth Mead is already killing it. Same with Viv, but Beth Mead is already killing it. But she scored 2 goals on the game on the 16th.
Honestly, they're both going to have to compete with who's going to make the most goals.
Yes, and that's kind of the part of the discussion I want to have as well.
Oh, okay.
So if we go look at the goals, Beth Mead scored a goal in the 63rd minute. Who was the assist by?
Vivianne Miedema.
It was, and that was assist. I mean, them linking up in that way to score these goals, I mean, you can't beat Posh and Becks, the power couple, the goal scorers, the what they have on
these two have surpassed Posh and Becks, okay?
I mean, already killing it. So yeah, Beth's goal in the 63rd minute, but then in the 83rd minute, Beth scores again. So, I mean, already Beth is killing it, and that assist by Viv, I mean,
I'm not even joking when I say that they are probably competing against each other,
right?
Like with each other, against each other, but like in a playful way. Like who can score the most goals,
right?
Whoever scores the most goals, whoever loses is cooking dinner tonight.
Yeah, exactly. So that game was 4-0 on the 16th. Then on the 20th. There was actually quite an interesting game. Arsenal played Ajax for the UEFA Champions League second round. And they ended up tying that game 2-2. Very physical game. There wasn't any Viv Beth goals. But again, I actually kind of wanted to talk about that match in general just because so many things going on in that game. And the fact that they tied. I mean, when you look at them on paper, I mean, it's such a strong team. Some people think there's problems in the midfield. But the fact that they tied that game, that was a wild game. So no Viv Beth moments. There was one moment, I believe it was in that game. It could have been in the other one, but Viv went down and she still looked like she was, a lot of people still don't think she's full strength from COVID, from last season. A lot of people think she still is not up to fully healthy. And she kind of went down, and there was a really cute moment where Beth went over to kind of make sure she was okay. And I mean, that's one of those moments where we kind of analyze them as that couple, because in that moment it's like, yeah, you're my teammate, but you're also my partner. I want to make sure when you go down, you're okay. Actually, I think that was probably in the first game. I don't think that was in the game against Ajax. But so the game today, September 24th. I mean, first of all, there was a game, and it was a record-setting crowd. 53,000 tickets were sold for this game. It was at the Emirates. And, I mean, these are the games, the matches that, as a player, you just live to play for that many people.
Yeah. That's gotta be amazing.
And that the feeling is electric. You know what I mean? That feeling of everyone came to see you. Also, it was a derby. It was against North London derby against Tottenham, and Arsenal. I mean, that kind of energy when you go play a game, when you go play a match, I mean, that's what professional athletes live for. 53,000 tickets sold for that match. And I mean, all the attention that the English women have gotten that has kind of carried over to the club play from the Euros.
Probably got a lot more fans.
So excited for them. It's so funny because during the game, the commentator called Beth Mead, like, I was going to say America's sweetheart. He called her, like, England's sweetheart or England's, what did he say? England's favorite player, something like that. It was really cute.
Oh, that's fitting.
Yeah, I forget the exact term he used, but it was so cute. But long story short, 4-0. Beth Mead in the first 5 minutes scored a beautiful goal. Beautiful.
That was very nice.
It was such a gorgeous goal. And she scored it in the 5th minute, and the crowd was wild. Then, in the 44th minute, still in the first half, Viv scored a goal. So it's going back to that Viv goal, the Beth goal, Viv goal, Beth goal. And then in the 68th minute, Viv scored again. And it was a header. The one in the 68th minute, it was a header. Looked great. Viv looked really good. Beth looked amazing. So, I mean, this idea, even more so that Posh and Becks comparison made that much more sense. I mean, scoring goals. And then also when Beth got subbed out, she got the nation sweetheart. That's what he called her. The nation sweetheart.
Yes.
And then when Beth got subbed out, she got a standing ovation. The crowd went wild for Beth. I saw this interview with this little girl. They said, "Who's your favorite player?" And she goes, "Beth Mead."
Yeah, everyone's obsessed with Beth. Love it.
And before the Euros, I'm telling you, Beth was on the radar, but that Euros made her into a household name. Of course, most of the girls, but Leah Williamson before then was getting a lot of recognition, obviously for being the captain of the for the English squad. But everyone knows Beth Mead's name now, and it is so cool for Beth. And also, it goes back to that idea where Viv was the big star, everyone knows her, and now she's in a relationship where she might be the lesser known one now in a lot of ways.
Whoa, controversial.
Maybe not in the Netherlands.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not in the Netherlands, but definitely in England. Beth Mead's a household name. I thought that was really cool. So that game today was, I mean, it was really fun. The atmosphere to watch. You know, Tottenham was a good team, but 4-0 that game. And they are fighting over, Beth and Viv are fighting over. I actually saw this on Twitter. I'm going to have Sara read it.
Beth Mead has scored 8 goals and assisted 4 more in her last WSL appearances. Mead is now outright second for goal involvements, 54 goals and 39 assists in WSL history, behind only Vivianne Miedema, 74 goals and 34 assists.
So look at right there. They're chasing each other with these stats.
Yeah,
and I mean,
goat versus goat.
I think it's only making them better too. Like, I don't think it's a situation where, you know, they're recoiling. I think it's a situation where they are really pushing themselves. So I thought that was such an exciting game. You know, the storyline with Viv and Beth, you know, like I said, they're not, they've been scoring goals for Arsenal for so long, but now this kind of secondary storyline is just...
You love it a little too much.
I do. I really do. And also, so that was exciting. Other than that, there have also been a couple interesting things going on. Viv did this interview, and I'm not quite sure who this interview was with, but someone on Twitch, and it was in Dutch, but somebody translated, and there was a couple cute parts where she was talking about Beth, and then part of the interview said, someone asked if Beth speaks Dutch at home with Viv. Okay, she goes, no, because Beth isn't that good at Dutch. Very honest. That's what I love about Viv. How honest is she?
Call it out.
And then Beth said she can Beth said she can pick bits up, but really can't speak it conversationally or anything. But because it takes a long time to learn a language, and I'm sure she can learn it. If she's committed, she can become fluent if she's committed.
Yeah.
And then the interviewer asked who cooks the most, and she said me. So Viv said she cooked the most. Ooh. And then she kind of teased, and she goes, I'm a bit of a housewife. And then she looked over at Beth, and she was getting looks at Beth for saying that. Kind of like, I'm the housewife.
Yeah, I wonder if she's like rolling her eyes playfully.
Yeah. But we know Viv can cook. I that's one thing I hear a lot about Viv cooking. Obviously, we've seen her cook in the We Play Strongs. And then she can cook. Remember that video that talked about what can't Viv do? What can Viv not do? This was 2 years ago at this point.
Or dance.
Yeah, people were like, she can't sing, she can't dance, she can't. And then someone goes, can she cook? And people are like, yeah, she can cook. She can't sing or dance. Who can? But actually, Beth likes to sing and dance on her TikTok. So that was fun. And then there was a part where Viv had to get on like from her like Nintendo Switch or something, and she couldn't figure out how to do that. So she looks at Beth, and she goes, "Beth, can you help me get on this thing?" Because apparently Viv is kind of technologically, and we know Beth is probably really good at technology because she's so all about social media and the internet and stuff.
Yeah.
And so that was cute. So that was a kind of a cute moment. And then also I saw these pictures, and I don't exactly know who posted them. I think it was one of Beth's friends. Maybe I'll post it, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll try to blur out their faces. But Viv went to Whipley. I think that's how you say it, WH Whipley, which is Beth's hometown. And we've known she's been there before. Viv has gone there with Beth, but and she was hanging out with a lot of Beth's friends. So, I mean, hanging out with the friends. Because I remember, I feel like Dan went to go visit Beth's friends too. Remember last year? But I mean, I just think Beth has a lot of friends. Yeah. You know those people who just have a lot of friends? Beth seems like that person.
Social. Yeah, for sure.
I have no friends. Sarah has no friends that we hang out with, so we would not know that. Sarah
got some distant friends.
Sarah has friends from college and high school, but Beth seems like one of those people who just has a lot of friends. And then there was a cute picture that Beth posted, this right here, and it was of Viv, and they were having champagne. She put in the caption, it said, "Proud of you," and that was the caption in Dutch. And there is a little cap and gown person here. So,
did she graduate?
She must have. I've heard she graduated from somewhere, but I couldn't figure out where that was. She graduated from somewhere. I think that's very cool, especially if I think that's what it was. Maybe I was trying to look, but I couldn't figure it out. So a lot has been going on for Beth and Viv together and separately. But I'm telling you, we didn't really talk too much about it, but that idea of Beth and Viv chasing each other all season for their team, but for individual too.
Love it.
I know. I mean, I wonder what's going to happen. I mean, on the field this season with them, because I know that sometimes when you're more invested than ever, they want to make history together. They want to make history together.
Yeah. Did you see? I don't know if it was an interview or something, but it was Viv talking about how her teammates wanted. She was thinking about like whether she should stay or go from Arsenal.
Oh,
and
they were like, I saw this. Yeah, wait, but what did she say that?
What they were like saying, they wanted her to leave or something.
Where was this?
I saw it on Twitter.
They wanted her to leave?
Even my teammates expected me to leave, and I was really close to leaving. When I told them one morning that I was staying, they were like, "Nah, you're taking the piss. Just shut up and leave."
Oh, no.
They're just joking around. But
right. That is so funny.
That's funny.
Because I did think a lot of people expected her to leave, but then I kind of like after today's game, or, that the fact that this is why she didn't want to leave, because she wanted to do things like she did today. You know what I mean?
Unfinished business.
Exactly. Also, side note, do you like the Arsenal kits with collars?
No.
I don't think I do. They're
Not
very
as
traditional
much.
looking. I think they're very traditional looking, but I don't like the collars on the kits.
Yeah.
Do you guys? I hear out
Looks
there
very choky.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they have a lot of room to breathe. Do you guys out there like the collars? I've heard some people love the collars, but I'm not a big fan of the collars. What does everyone think? Questions, comments down below. Are Beth and Viv gonna do things that we've never seen before?
Bye.
What does everyone think? Can't wait. Excited for the next Arsenal game. I wish the Arsenal games were later in the day, because then Sarah and I could maybe watch them live. But I think they start at like 6 a.m. our time. So
Yeah, that's pretty early.
Questions, comments down below. We'll talk to everyone later. Have a great night.